Hopefully it's working.
I'm pretty sure it's working. Hello. Well, we will find out. What's up, everybody? It's Desert Fox, joined with our favorite LMG man, Airsoft Alfonse, and we are going to be talking about LMGs and how sensual they are. And then we're going to round it off with our experience at Battle for LA, Cyber City, the Battle for Flavortown.
Boy, was it a fun one.
Yes. All right, so why don't you tell us about, first, the 240 Bravo. This is one of my favorite LMG? MMG.
Technically an MMG.
MMG. So I've got the Echo 1-1. This one is the SNT/Lancer from Evic, correct?
SNT. Okay. Basically the same thing. They just changed a few. Honestly, I think maybe they just cut a little couple corners on costs. But I, as well, actually happen to have it as one of my favorites. But, I mean...
So yours... Okay, so... Alfonse's is HPA, as you can tell by the line. Yeah. So why don't you go over it from the front to the rear and tell us what you like, don't like, etc.
Well, first off, it's really big. It's a bit obnoxious.
That's what she said.
No, it's just not really a common support platform that you really see out in the field. I mean, I really like my Mark 46s and whatnot, but I felt like at some point, I played a lot of Modern Warfare 2. I mean, obviously your situation with Solo, you use the real one, but I mean, yeah, no, it's just honestly, it's a different style of LMG gameplay in terms of like how you have to use it. Like, cause I don't know if you can tell, but
it's big.
It's not designed to be shoulder fired. Mm-hmm. For example, there's not a good hand placement here. Like you can hit the thing. And also when you shoulder it, without flagging jet here.
Whoa.
You're really far forward. Like a lot of your weight is distributed all the way up. So, and due to the length, it's just not ideal for a lot of what you would call, I guess, airsoft battles, pie battles. But,
you're not going to run and gun with this thing.
Well, surprisingly, it's actually really good at hip firing with the slower rate of fire and the large box mag in terms of, I think, honestly, you're more effective running and gunning with this than you would be trying to pie corners.
Okay,
you know
for sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're either true support role or you are like Rambo. I'm just gonna spray. I have a 5,000 round box mag and a slower rate of fire, so you're not really dumping your whole mag. But for the insides, it's just a Polar Star F2. I don't know if I could show the camera. But,
there you go. Yeah, we can see it. Here's the FCU board.
I
all
have
the connections,
yeah.
And he made it all nice in there, which is great.
It definitely helps if you put a little bit of Velcro.
Oh, that's neat. Rail. I didn't see that earlier.
Yeah, that is the key to not breaking your FCU. Rod Rambo, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just some basic wire controls, and obviously the key concept is that it is wired to the FCU, and the box mag is wired to the FCU. So every time you pull the trigger, the box mag automatically winds. Now, as an AEG, it already did that stock. So,
did you have to change anything, or was that was there more fan dangling of the wires to get to run through the FCU, or
not really? This was a pretty simple install in terms of like all you have to do, like the way that this 2-piece system is hooked up. You just chop the wires and then resolder it to the point that would go into the FCU's little accessory port.
Okay,
there.
All right.
So really all you're doing is when you pull the trigger, you are completing the circuit and it is sending power to the box mag wire, which in the 240 case, I'd argue it's the easiest probably to wire because you don't have to really, it's already got a nice disconnect. And But yeah, the AEG journey with this was not the same. I mean, it broke. I don't know if it's different with yours, but like
mine hasn't broken yet. But I haven't been able to use mine as much as you use LMGs.
True.
Because I have broken like 3 box mags and I haven't been able to find a fix for it. And that's kind of the main reason I haven't been using that 240. Like there's been like 3 games since the box mag broke.
Yeah.
that I've been like, I wanted to use it, but I don't have a box mag, so I guess I'll use something else.
Classic box mag story.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move on. Like, let's talk about the optic. All right, so why the Giant Optic? I'm sure a lot of people are like, what is this thing?
I just thought this optic was pretty good for, eye relief. No. So like you see a lot of 240s on aircraft, and they have a what's called a Trichicon like aircraft hollow, but those are like $5,000. So I was looking on eBay one day, and I randomly saw this thing for like $30, and I was like,
sold.
That's it.
Sold.
Got me to the free 3-day, But no, it just looks kind of funny. I got a riser on there. Like I said, you're with LMG, you're probably better off with this one, almost, hip firing. But it is good for like if you're gonna line up your shot and you know a guy's peeking a corner or something, and you want to have a real precise, when he peeks, you hit that spot that you're looking for. I'd say it's pretty nice to have the
bigger optic.
Giant eye relief optic. But,
all right, nice. What tank do you run with this?
So I run the same tank setup for all of my guns, specifically LMGs. It's just I could have grabbed it. It's a dual 4590, 4500 psi cubic inch tank with a regulator that is linked the two tanks together. Super convenient. I pretty much with this could probably get at least 10,000 to. I don't want to say higher than that yet, but I'm gonna make a video and get an exact number. But I have shot these 10,000 rounds in a short period, and not even have been close out of air. So
nice.
I can usually play all day unless I really, really go ham. But the F2 is the more air efficient Polar Star engine, in my opinion. So you can shoot for days with that. That's all you're gonna need.
All right, nice.
But yeah.
Now this was working, right? This was the main gun for Battle for LA.
This was the one gun that I brought that I was like, I've already used it a few times, but I wanted to run the M60.
Yeah, let's switch gears and talk about the M60.
All right. I'll just put this like this.
And to answer some questions earlier, I am taking a look at the chat. Unicorn Leah is around. She's in the chat as well. She just finished watching the Yankees game, so that was taking up her time. The Yankees won, by the way. Hooray. All right, M60. What brand M60 is this?
So this is just a classic M60 Mark 43, whatever you want to call it. E4, not E4, E3, sorry. But it's just an A&K brand.
Okay, A&K.
It's completely stock in the gearbox. And all I did was I changed out the barrel, and I put the bull gear hop-up unit in it and a flat hop, which I think is the simplest and most important upgrade you could possibly do. But unfortunately, as I posted on Instagram, we had a bit of problems about 2 engagements into the game. The old whiny piston helped my gearbox sound the sound of death.
That terrible screeching noise when you squeeze that AEG trigger. It goes.
Luckily, though, our friend Tommy was there, and I got to walk off the field. We completely disassembled the gearbox, fixed the problem, screwed the motor back in, and she worked fine. So.
Yeah. Shout out to Tommy from Glaze
Sports.
Coming to the rescue with the clutch teching.
But yeah, it's like I said, I love the M60. I just wanted to change it up, but luckily I brought multiple guns because this was my day for the guns.
Yeah. So the first game ends, and I find Alfonse and D in the staging area, and they tell me this funny story about how the gun goes down, and Alfonse walks into a room to tell D that his gun's down, but he's holding the 2 pirate pistols.
When the pirate pistols go down, or when the LMGs go down, it was time for good old reliable here.
So I haven't seen these things until you brought one, and then so I picked up Alfonse on Thursday before the game. No, Wednesday.
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay.
Thursday.
So I picked up Alfonse Thursday before the game, and we stopped at the Battle Lab evic.com outpost in Ontario. So he could pick up some BBs, and you saw this on the wall and was like, "Well, I gotta get one."
I was looking for BBs, and I saw it in the case, and I was like, "Well, I have one, but what could be better? 2." So I just was like, "Yeah, what the heck?"
Now I saw this at SHOT Show. I saw this at the Battle Lab grand opening, and I kind of was like, "Oh, that's a funny gimmick." I don't really have a
gimmick.
Okay,
Peak
sorry.
airsoft
Sorry.
technology right here.
True, it is.
Arr.
I mean, after I shot it, I was like, "Oh,
Them be
Jesus.
fighting words, mate.
True, true. So I was like, okay, these are neat. Not something that I'm quite particularly into. I thought they were spring powered at first, and then
Turns out they're not.
Yeah, it turns out they're really freaking powerful.
Well, that one, yeah. There's for some reason I don't understand. I bought this one just at a local CQB store called Motor City Airsoft in my area. I just saw it and I was like, again, I should buy that, and I just immediately bought it. But this one was shooting around like 1.3 joules, which on the box it said it was shooting 500. So I don't know if something happened or somebody tweaked with it.
The joule and FPS on this thing, these things were,
but
so
that
wacky.
one was shooting as listed. Yeah, a little real hot. So I kind of was using this as like my secondary to the LMG, and then like I had that on my buddy Robbie as like a more of a sniper pistol in case I needed to really engage, obviously with an MED with that kind of FPS, different tools for different situations. So.
I mean, this thing was just, I don't know, it was all over the freaking place.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's CO2 powered, it's single shot. I want to squeeze the trigger, but I don't.
It's loaded and it has CO2.
Okay, we're not gonna shoot this because I don't want to BB to ricochet all over the place. But these things are hilarious, and I mean, well, why don't you show everybody, show them like how to load it and stuff.
So it's your basic Flintlock airsoft pistol here.
Yes.
It has
See
this
those
little,
all the time.
Yeah, very common on the field. So basically, it has a little black powder pellet pouch that you could, pour your powder in there, but you actually put the BBs in there. And normally, well, there's your BBs, but yeah, you just dump them in there. Fits 21 in the chamber. 21, yeah. And you just close this down, and then you would theoretically rack this, but I mean, there's no decocker, so we're kind of
yeah. Is there CO2? There's not CO2, right? Because you just would have shot that.
No, I didn't press the trigger.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No.
Okay.
I mean, we could find out if I shot like. Cover your eyes. Okay.
Okay.
She's clear, but yeah.
Okay.
It's a simple. You press the trigger. Boom. BBs go down range, but when you're in a real pickle, you can also take the BB loader and just blunderbuss the BBs down there and just kind of in an emergency situation. Obviously, not for speed reloading, but
yeah, just a hilarious gun.
It feels great. I would recommend this, and this is not sponsored in any way. So, best investment I've ever made.
Show everybody. So on this one, it's got the. I guess this is the base plate to it, which is really nice. There's a lot of cool kind of craftsmanship on this gun. You can see there's a lot of detail on the barrel, on the mock flintlock system, even the trigger and the butt, and then back here. Why don't you do it? Because I accidentally
trade you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's just
pop that off, and then on the bottom, that's where you put the CO2. And again, we see this thing, and then this is like the butt pad to it. Again, there's a lot of detail. Like this, it even has this dangly little thing.
It can be used as a melee weapon if you get real close,
depending on your field rules.
Or correct, if your field rules and guidelines allow that. But no, that one's just missing because like when I have it holstered in my holster, you bump into this sometimes, and as my friends would in the last few weeks, anytime they saw me, it was like every now and then this little thing just goes, boop, and they're you don't want to lose that. So.
Yeah. Because it loses a lot of the aesthetic.
No. So, but yeah, love these. Would highly recommend them. But be careful. You want to make sure you chrono them.
Yeah, like this one was fine.
That one was fine.
All like it was. I don't know. It was all over the place. When you chronoed, it was fine. So I was like, okay, you're good.
Yeah, and that's with a brand new CO2 cartridge. It was still not shooting hot. It was like 1.2, 1.3. But the other one, that was a real sniper.
Okay, let's move this kind of out of the way, and then I'll go over my setup. My setup isn't really anything new. For those of you that have seen or been on the channel for a while, you'll recognize this. This is my Elite Force H&K 416A5 with an SNT M320 undergun grenade launcher, replica ACOG. I've got a nice Travis Haley or HSP single point sling on here now.
Travis Haley himself crafted that.
Yes.
With his bare hands.
Mm-hmm. And then he was like, take this.
Take this, Jet. Use it for the airsoft games.
And so for the game, I was shooting. For the game, I was using my master mics for house-to-house engagements, and then I was also carrying chalk round tag-ins because there was one single Humvee on the enemy team. And we'll get into this later when we talk about the Battle of Flavor Town, because it was Alfonse was on red team / green, black, and I was on the blue team, TSS, tan, multicam, blue, which I already said. But yeah, nothing really new about this. I've got a bunch of videos. This is also the same gun for my 87 kill streak video. So if you want all the specs on that, you can head over to that video, and you can also buy this this high performance model from evic.com. All right, let's get this out of the way. Tuck you over there. All right, so now let's talk about Battle for LA3 Cyber City. Let's talk a little bit about day one. Day one was a humongous battle, and I think you had a bunch of problems, unfortunately, because that gun went down.
It wasn't humongous for me, but I was out there and I saw the large size of the game, and but unfortunately, my gearbox exploded, and that was my basically first day. But day two was pretty wild for me, at least in terms of gameplay. But I don't know if you had a better.
I mean, I was reffing.
Oh yeah,
I was doing staff stuff all day Saturday because it was a 600 player event. Actually, I want to thank everyone who came and attended the game. It went really well. I got a lot of positive feedback and of course some negative feedback from people, which we do take your negative feedback into consideration, and we'll make sure. It all. Yeah, we'll make sure to make the proper adjustments for next year. For example, the year before, a lot of people were talking about were really I don't want to say complaining because it's a complaint, but it's a legitimate complaint about the walk from the far end of the field back to the respawn and then being able to find their way around, because George Air Force Base is really confusing if you don't play there often. Like all the buildings look the exact same because it's a Air Force Base or an abandoned Air Force Base, so all the buildings are pretty much laid out the same, and the roads do this like really weird twisting and S's, so you find yourself just kind of going in like half circles a lot of the time.
Follow the water tower.
Yeah, follow the
North
water
Star
tower.
of Victorville.
Mm-hmm. So to help alleviate everyone walking so much and then getting lost, we hired 2 5-ton trucks to just drive around the field and literally just pick people up. Like, did you use the shuttle service?
I did use the shuttle. I just felt like it was I just wanted to see how it felt.
Okay.
I mean, and it was a kind of a far walk all the way around, and it was like, why not, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no, it was nice, definitely.
Yeah. So we do a lot of things for convenience for players, because after all, even though it's a mil sim type game and everyone's in the moment and stuff, we got to remember it's also just a game, and we got to have some convenience. So.
I was also wearing a wetsuit, so it was a bit warm, and minimizing my if I didn't have to walk, I was like, well, it wouldn't hurt, but yeah, like you said, it's not really the super serious of most mil sims. So
yes,
it's like,
yes, we're all about trying to have
part
fun.
of the game. It's like save my energy for the field.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then game 2 on Saturday, we played our new game mode Breakthrough, which that was pretty good. The attacking team captured the first 2 points, and then after the second 2 points came up, the defenders pretty much just were able to hold out.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. So it was a solid hold by ERT. TSS did make a bunch. I mean, I was filming a bunch of people just maneuvering on TSS and making a lot of assaults. TSS just was really finally got their stuff together and held the line. No,
it was a good game. Like, obviously the outcome of the game being that we tied, I feel like is very indicative of the story of the whole game. It was like there was back and forths.
Mm-hmm.
There were some really good holds. We tried the new game mode out, which was kind of cool. And then the second day, excuse me, obviously, Red did a little better, but
Yeah, red definitely did a lot better the second
Blue did
day.
a lot better the first game. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the cool thing about DFE is like there's 3 different games. It's like playing multiplayer. You know, just because you win one doesn't mean you win them all. You know.
Yep.
And it's not some fantasy land scoring where it's like, oh well, that guy didn't look at the game admin right, so your team loses 1,000 points. And it's like yeah, but it's like it's solely based on like you guys captured this point and you held it for longer, and so therefore you guys lost lives. So it's just kind of cool, like to see the score in real time. And my favorite thing is just to see where your teammates are, because that way it's like, and you can see people dying, and
it's really clutch if you like having a lot of information at your fingertips to be able to figure out where you want to go to be a part of the game or just not be a part of the game. You can use the Blue Fox tracker to do so.
No, yeah. I mean, it did crash every now and then for me, but I know you guys are like working on that, and that's pretty much the only negative thing I would hear about it was like people would be like, oh, sometimes it would freeze up, but also there was a 600 player game, and it's like, but I mean, still though, where everything is, you can see the score. It's light years beyond anything else really in terms of that aspect.
Yep. And then we went into the night game. The night game was so Night Vision Inc., who provides the rentals for us, holy moly, they rented out all of their nods, and I couldn't think of a perfect night to play with nods because it was dark.
Well, that was probably one of the biggest night games that I've seen, other than Milsom West, obviously,
where everyone's just kind of forced into the night game.
you have no choice in this matter. No, yeah, there was a lot of people, and there was a lot of people that weren't even playing with nods, which, in my opinion, I wouldn't want to go out there without it, but you definitely can. But it was just cool to see people like nighttime want to play. They don't care.
There was lots of tracers. I saw a decent amount of people with fake muzzle flash devices on their guns. So it was cool. Yeah. I did film a little bit, but I mean, it was so dark. It was really hard to find. It was kind of hard to find battles. Like as soon as I found like a battle with like tracers and stuff, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and see how this unfolds. Hopefully, I can get some good footage. I think I got a decent amount. We'll see. But yeah, the night game was great. We went all the way to 10:30, so I think it was about a 2.5 hour night game because we got a little bit of a late start because of the breakthrough game.
I've been to a lot of night games that don't go long and are just like an absolute crap show. So it was cool to. It actually was a night game that went till the end.
Yeah, we went above and beyond.
It was a game. There were people playing, and it wasn't just like 5 people were like, oh.
Yeah, it was a big night game.
Yeah.
So the night game ended, and then we, everyone back to their camps, and then day 2 started. So day 2, obviously the second day, the crowd is always thins out. No matter what game you're at,
you always have a drop off.
There's always a drop off because some people have to go to work on Monday, and they're just like, you know what, I want to get home now because I drove 3 hours or something like that. Everyone has their reasons, and it's totally acceptable. So, but that's great because that allows me. Leah and I actually to be able to hit the field as well. And man, day 2 was the area that we were playing in, and just I don't know what it was about the day 2 gameplay, but the day 2 gameplay was pretty intense.
It was
and
spicy.
It was I don't know. I was having a lot of fun. I don't know how to explain it. Like my squad ourselves were moving through a lot of buildings. We were able to stick together very well. There was engagements everywhere. So
there was so much airsoft. It was out of control.
Yeah.
But it was a constant like maneuvering on each other multiple times. I would be in a 1-story building, and there would be enemies in the next building, but I also would hear enemies coming up into my building most of the time, which was Jet. And I was like, it was just me, in that situation, it was me and a few good speed softers that I was surrounded with, and we sort of had a little 4-man fire team, and we were just constantly trying to fire, move, and sort of just keep moving so we didn't get completely surrounded. And
you did
old Desert Fox.
You slipped away. I was impressed that you were able to slip away because we were closing in slowly on Alfonse at one point, and he just kind of disappeared, and I was like, wow, all right. good one. I guess I'll go this way now, or I'll attack another objective.
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out for players that do attend DFE games, because I got asked in between one of the games, is, I wish the points were marked. They are marked. You just got to tap on them. And we usually like to make silly names for all of the points. Sometimes they're serious, sometimes they're silly. So the particular point that we were battling over Sunday morning was called Flavor Town.
Flavor
So
Town.
all of us that were there kind of joked, like, the battle for Flavor Town. And yeah, it was great. We did get you once, but then we had a very long ceasefire due to a player self-inflicted injury. Basically, just a warning to everybody: do not store your grenades next to your face. This guy had a Thunder Bee, and it went off just on its own, and he was out.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't put grenade stuff anywhere near your face.
Don't strap grenade to neck.
Yeah, put it on your back, put it down here by your abdomen. That guy's fine, by the way.
He's not dead.
Yeah, he's fine. But a big lesson was learned by a lot of people: do not put Thunder Bees near your face. So we had to have a very long ceasefire, unfortunately, for that. But then the ceasefire ended finally once that gentleman was taken off the field.
A classic airsoft situation of right when things are getting spicy.
Yeah.
A ceasefire happens. Mm-hmm. Players try their best not to move, but like when an extended ceasefire happens, players are kind of like, oh, what's going on? And people talk, and it's like, it's not exactly the same when the game restarts. And thankfully so, because I was right sitting there dead. You were in the sights of the old Desert Fox.
He was literally in front of a wall, in the middle of the wall section, with my entire fire team just being like, all right,
not ideal.
Once this game is on, you're never gonna get picked up.
A few good men and women that were fighting with me picked me up, and I got revived.
Slipped away.
But yeah, no, that was pretty good. Just a good airsoft battle. There was no issues. It was fun, and it kept on going. That was probably one of the longer lives I've ever had, where it was like, yeah, I died there, but it was like we extended that because we just kept moving and trying to like confuse. In my head the whole time, I was like, that son of a gun, Desert Fox is out there. He's sneaking up, because you play pretty sneaky.
I was totally sneaking on
that's
you,
your
man.
thing. You kind of come up and like you played so much airsoft that when you play that much airsoft, you just know, like, this is when I got to move. You don't want to just sit there, and you're not going to run right at machine gun fire. Usually, mm-hmm. I wouldn't think so.
Dude, my master mic was
who had my name on it,
just ready.
My pirate pistol was ready for you. No, but yeah, it was
I was actually hoping that we'd let, like, if the ceasefire hadn't happened, I think we could have probably come to some agreement of a duel. I think that would have been really funny.
Should have done that. Yeah, be like,
because it was this T intersection of buildings with an open field,
a large open field, perfect for a duel.
Yep.
If it
20 paces or so, maybe, who knows? Maybe next year we'll be able to do it.
Maybe winner gets a free revive. Who knows? Something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So you slipped away. I basically just reconsolidated with my squad, and then we all got wiped out by more attacking ERT.
Yeah.
We were reinforced. I was trying to repel the attack, and then Spongler Muscles.
Evic Spencer from
yeah. So basically, Airsoft. We pushed up. I got 2 kills, and then Spongler, or I traded with somebody. And then Spongler got my 2 guys, and then it was just my reserve unit left, which was full of ROT
cadets,
California Cadet Corps cadets. Shout out to those kids; they were great. They were excellent team players, and they helped staff on Saturday. Big props to them. But they got wiped out, unfortunately. But they did take a couple people down.
The old 416 and that one speed soft girl, maybe not speed soft, girl with pistol, just.
Oh man, I forgot.
We got some great footage.
Yeah, shout out to her. She walked into this room and just annihilated this.
F in the chat for the brave cadet with the sniper.
Yeah. Took out our sniper, but then proceeded to get killed by the boot, the lowest ranking cadet But then eventually it all got wiped out.
Such as Airsoft.
Yeah,
Such
yeah.
as Airsoft.
So we went back to spawn, regrouped, and then we pushed forward some more. And then one of our other dudes was radioing in, I'm engaging Alphonse at this building. Okay, was it really Alphonse or is it just another LMG? That was kind of the running joke for the weekend. Is anytime there was machine gun fire,
I get blamed for it.
It was Alphonse.
But I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I whenever I hear full auto fire, I'm like, that sounds real good.
You speak the language of my people.
Yes. So, but yeah.
So it actually was Alphonse.
Turns out it was.
Yeah, turns out it actually was
Airsoft Alfredo.
Mhm.
But
again with a tide of blue, we just kind of overwhelmed his position. I didn't get him. Some other people did, but
I actually ended up trading with a guy with the ye old pirate pistol.
Nice.
And yeah, shout out to that guy because he got me. And then we all died, and the game was pretty much over at that point. But
yeah, what did you do after that? Because that was the last time I saw.
By the time I walked back to spawn, the lives were like 3,800 to 60.
Oh,
and I was one of my few good men needed some ammo, so he like started running back, and by the time he got back, it was game over.
Yeah, because you got like toward the end, toward the end of day 2, it was just a sea of red players, and they were.
We had all the points at the end.
It was crazy, and so with my squad, we were right on the cusp.
You were
right on the cusp of about to assault a point, and then I looked at my app, and we had 2 tickets, and I was like, "Oh man, all right, well here it comes."
F in the chat.
And then 2 seconds later, game over. Like, dang it! I was so disappointed too because I had gotten my entire unit there, and I picked up 3 other players on the way, and we were literally right about to make the assault on
time. Cop said, "You're out of time."
Yeah,
not today, Jet.
Well said. Oh man. Well, there's always next year. Like I said, we do this game annually, and I'm hoping it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Also, with it growing in size, we will up all the amenities, and the money that's earned from that goes into the development of the app, enhancing everyone's gameplay. If you'd like to see media from the game, we've got one photo album up on our Facebook page, Desert Fox Airsoft Events. The album's courtesy of our good friend Dave from Airsoft Obsessed. Thank you, Dave, for coming out and taking photos. I haven't had a chance to take a look at the album yet, but I'm sure the pics are straight fire.
Very good pictures. There were some good ones.
Oh, did you look at it already?
Well, I thought you were talking about the other ones. Never mind. I'm sure Dave got great pictures.
Yeah,
he always gets great ones.
Yeah. Alphonse is talking about the other photographer that was there, Zach Laura, or I think his. I'm sorry, Zach. I don't remember your Instagram handle off the top of my head. I believe it's Lens of Laura.
Yes.
But those pictures will be updated hopefully in a day or 2.
There were some beautiful airsoft moments. I must say.
All right, that's gonna wrap up this live stream. Alphonse, thanks for taking the time to be on camera and talking to everybody and letting everyone know about your LMGs.
The pleasure was mine.
All right, guys. See you guys next week for some more Airsoft content. Bye. Oh, the awkward silence.
This 240 is so nice.